Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's not so bright and early. 9 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, my day was thrown into, I don't know if I could say this, the crapper. Okay, here's the lowdown on my whole video scheduling for today. Got thrown all, of course. Tomorrow we're supposed to have another big storm here, well, a good part of the country. And up here in the Northeast, we're supposed to get everything and anything from rain to snow to sleet to freezing rain to ice, snow, sleet, freezing rain. I don't know, there's like 4 or 5. I'm not going to get into the variations, but it's going to be a difficult day tomorrow. A lot of the stuff I had scheduled for tomorrow having to do with my art and a couple other things got canceled. The people, I didn't cancel, but they wanted me to move them up to today. And through my I've been thrown into a frenzy since about 3 a.m. this morning. I didn't have time to pick a video to do so, but I came across, I'll have the links, a couple stories down below. Michael K. Williams. I hope I got that name right. I'm not familiar, the actor, the African-American actor. I'm not familiar with him, but he recently passed away from an overdose of heroin and fentanyl, I believe. And here's the unusual thing that's in the news today. 4 dealers, suspected dealers, alleged dealers, have been arrested. Yeah, were arrested yesterday. And now here's the really unusual thing is they actually have the hand-to-hand with Michael K. Williams, where he actually bought the substance. They have it on film where the dealer sold him. Presumably that was the batch, the buy that was enough to have him OD. Okay, I can talk about so much about this. Let me say this is the most important thing. I am not making this video. One of the most important things, the reason I think I'm clean and sober, the reason I'm still alive, is to help other people, to put out there what I went through, how I got out of it, as a warning to other people. I really feel like that's an important part of my existence. Like I told you guys before, I've done murals, and I still go back and touch base with the methadone clinic where I got some help, medically assisted treatment before. I go to NA groups. I actually, one of the hardest and coolest things I ever did was chair a big NA group in Waterbury, Connecticut. I sat in front of about 50 people for about 3 months and led the led the group when people could talk and everything. That was one of the scariest things I did, but also it was one of the, I'll never forget it. It built confidence in me. That's one of the things that keeps me clean today. Okay, the reason for this video, though, is I am not intending to glamorize. Anything I talk about is to give you kind of a lead up to what led me into a nightmare existence. The whole point of this video is, if you're using, there's ways to get help. And if you are not using, you've never used, listen to me and trust me. It's a nightmare. It is a living nightmare. Okay. That being said, now down below I'll have the pictures and the video. I think there's a video. I know there's still pictures where Michael K. Williams is on film actually making the buy. So obviously, like I said, they had him under surveillance. That picture right there, even though it's been over 15 years, it's been 15 years in October, November, December, January, February, coming up on 15 and a half years since I ever touched this stuff. And the triggers, let me tell you, the triggers are still right there under the skin. This is one of the things I learned in NA. Is that this is a disease. I am an addict, and I will always be an addict. That's one of the things. And people use different ways to get clean and sober. Whatever works for some people. Some people don't use NA. Some people, like my ex Audrey, used a faith-based method. Some of you guys might wonder too. I touched on religion. I'm not somebody that pushes religion on anybody or anything like that. I believe what I believe, and what anybody else chooses to believe is their business. But this is, we gave ourselves to a higher power. That's one of the steps. in NA, and this is, that's one of the main reasons that I do pray every morning. It's part of my recovery, and it's worked for me. Okay, let's get into this. That picture, Michael K. Williams. Like I said, I don't know this guy. I don't know the show The Wire. But when I looked at that picture, man, it was like, I don't even know how to describe this. It was scary. It was terrifying because it reminded me of the relationship that I had with the dealers, the people that were dealing to me. And it was almost like a rush. Like, if sometimes when I smell watermelon bubble gum, I think of a girl that I one of my first girlfriends, because she used to chew watermelon bubble gum, and she used to kiss me after, and I smell that to this day, and I get this rush, like what's it called, oxytocin, or one of those, and it's almost something like that. A feeling when I looked at that picture, and that's the scary thing, the relationship that I used to have with a dealer. I was addicted to crack cocaine. The first time I used anything was marijuana at 14. By the time I graduated high school, I was in all the top classes. I never failed a class. I went on to college, and I was fooling myself because I thought I could do this and get away with it. By then, I had used LSD, mushrooms, cocaine. I started using around when I was 20. Crack followed shortly after that, and opiates I didn't get into until around the year 2000, until after my back surgery. It's a whole different addiction. I remember the relationship that when I looked at this picture, it just reminded me of the relationship I had with my dealer. I'll just cut to the chase. The first thing I thought of, I had to see that dealer every single day. It was my medicine. It made me function. You only get like a high the first couple times. After that, you have to take it just to feel normal. And it's deceiving because you're already hooked before you realize it. I know I'm not going to be able to get into all this, but when I looked at that picture, it reminded me of Kentucky Fried Chicken. It reminded me of the time, I was trying to get a hold of my dealer, and he was living at home with his family and everything. And I called him up, and he's, yeah, you can come by, but pick me up dinner for my family. And when you're an addict like that, you give up all of your self-worth, all of your self-confidence. So I was like, sure, no problem. What do you guys want? I was, I'll buy the whole dinner for your family and deliver it to you. Just give me what I need. This is the first thing I thought of when I looked at that picture of Michael K. Williams. And I wrote it all down. I went, hurried up, all nervous, ran into Kentucky Fried Chicken because I had to get what I needed for that day. And this happens every single day. It's a living hell you go through. And I brought it up to him. I remember he didn't turn on the back porch lights for me. He was on the second floor, and there was all plywood. I was falling I was all bruised and cut up from falling over plywood and 2x4s, trying to protect that Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, he gave me money for it, but it was just the subservience I had, the bowing down. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. Another thing they talk about with Michael K. Williams and his buy, and it's ridiculously true. They talked about how these poor dealers kept selling. And I don't know if you guys have heard, any of you watching this video have heard this, but addicts like me, the person I was, when they hear that there was an overdose like Michael K. Williams, they flock to get that. These drugs in this part of the country, they're in a cellophane. It's not like the other parts of the country here. Here, it's a powder. It's a tan beige powder. It's not the tar in other parts of the country. You can't get that here. Here, it's from Pakistan. In California, it comes from Mexico. Anyway, it's cellophane, and it's got a stamp on it. And people will learn right away, well, what stamp was it? This is crazy. People, almost all addicts will ask. They'll want to buy that specific poison that killed Michael K. Williams. That will be their goal, to buy it. So in the videos, the reports on how when they arrested these 4 dealers, they were very careful not to reveal the stamp or any of that information, because they knew that addicts, this is just one of the many insane things. You're hooked, and before you know it, it seems like this drug, and all drugs, but this drug in particular, is so incredibly evil. If there is a Satan, if there's a devil, if there is an all pure evil, then this is something they created, because it's one of the most evil things on earth. And the addicts will flock to get something that killed somebody else, and pay good money for it. And all addicts think they can handle it. Well, I know what I'm doing. I got a high tolerance. I used to say it to myself too, before I even got hooked. Well, I'll leave you guys with this one last thought. I remember when I was first switching from the painkillers for my back to heroin. And at that point, I was only buying every weekend from these dealers. I was still getting pain pills from my doctor. And I remember going in there, and it was a woman selling it, and she had these big muscle guys working for her. And I sat down on the couch, and I told them, I said, I'm not like you're the other guys that come here. I only do it on the weekends. I got this, I was bragging to them that I'm not like your other clients, your other customers. I got this under control. I got self-control. I just do this on the weekends. One of the stupidest lies I ever told myself in my life. Nobody has it under control. If you need help, text me, message me, Google. You can always just Google for NA or any of these other groups. Medically assisted treatment is a great place to start. You guys have a fantastic Thursday.